Hi Flosstube, this is Lily again, and check it out. I'm actually doing another Flosstube video. I really wasn't sure if it was going to happen. Things have been pretty busy and a little nutty around here lately, but I had a little bit of time today, and I'm hoping I can get this done pretty quickly because I got a bunch of other stuff I still need to do. I just wanted to first start by saying I am so surprised at how many people not just viewed, but actually subscribed to my Flosstube channel, as well as made really nice comments below. I loved it. It's a great interaction to have with other people who love cross-stitching, so I'm excited about that. It was crazy. It was I think within a week I had over 160 subscribers, and it was already, I wrote it down, like over 800 views. And as of today, it's more than 300 subscribers and 1,800 views, which is just nuts. A lot of you commented how I look very relaxed on the camera. I'm not. I'm really not. I don't do cameras and public speaking very well. So I'm glad it's coming off like that, but I'm really not. So you might ask, why do videos if you're that uncomfortable with it? I don't know. I'm a very complicated woman, I guess. Well, no, because this is a fun community. I want to be part of it. So, you know, I've overcome some hurdles to make it happen. But yeah, so thank you everyone who subscribed. It was really exciting to see people actually interested in what I have to ramble about. And I am definitely interested in all your ramblings. I love watching Flosstube while I stitch away, and it's been really good. But I have to confess, I promise you I'm not that interesting. I'll try to be, but I'm just not. So please don't be disappointed if you get bored with some of my stuff. But yeah, a bunch of weirdos subscribe to me. No, I don't mean that to offend anyone. It's just me being awkward. So, I was rewatching the video that I did last time to kind of remember what I talked about. I tried not to watch it too many times because I just got too self-critical, but I figured let me see where I left off last time and we gotta take a note. And I realized I didn't even mention the other member of our family, and that is Yogi, our dog. So we will take a little walk over the living room by the end of this video, and you guys can check him out and say hi. So we'll do that a little bit later. Quick update on life in general before I get into the cross-stitching. I am 38 weeks in some days. I'll be 39 weeks pregnant on Friday. So baby's coming in about a week. And here, we'll do the belly shot, because why not? But yeah, here she is. Big belly. She's actually a little bit smaller than my son was at this time. Not that he was particularly big, but everything's a little bit smaller this time around, which is fine by me. We're at that phase of pregnancy where I'm ready. I'm ready to be done with being pregnant. Nothing terribly horrible. I mean, it's just the usual uncomfortableness of end of pregnancy. So I'm grateful everything else is going very smooth. But I'm so over it. I'm so over pregnancy. And I know newborn baby comes with its own challenges, physical as well as, you know, sleep deprivation, which is the big one I'm not looking forward to. But I'm ready to be able to tie my own shoes again. That would be nice, especially in the winter. Just putting on boots has been a challenge. So, very soon. But one more video before baby comes, and then we'll see how life settles afterwards if I can get another video in. I'm just looking down at my notes because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. So if I look down, sorry if that's rude, I guess. House. So we've had the house on the market for a year and no bites whatsoever. And less than a month before I'm due for, you know, labor, we get an offer. Of course. So we just had the inspection last week, waiting to hear back from that, see if this actually goes through. Obviously we've explained our situation. So they've been you know, willing to delay the closing for a little bit longer and even rent out the house to us for a few months afterwards while we find a place and settle in. Because we didn't have any place lined up since we were nearing the end of our contract and baby coming. We figured let's just, you know, holidays were going on, just busy. And we were like, let's just slow down on looking at houses. And I mean, we look online, but that's not the same as actually going to see a house. So we have nothing really that we were particularly eager to jump on. But now this offer came through. So as long as everything else goes smoothly, probably a few weeks after baby's here, we'll hopefully be settled down enough where we can go out there and actively look and try and get that rolling as soon as we can. So that'll be fun. When it rains, it pours, right? I mean, it's all good stuff, but it's just a lot at the same time. And then my husband's just getting over a cold right now too. I just started with a cold, and then last night our son started getting a little bit of a fever, and I'm like, oh, kid's here in a week, let's get the germs out, let's just be over this. So, and we'll see. It's snowing outside right now here, which is fine, it's a good time of year for snowing, but it just reminds me again of, what if we get this horrible storm, and the bridge closes, because the hospital's on the other side of the bridge from us, and you just can't worry about it, right? You just have to go day by day. So, it's all good. It's just a lot. So that's a quick update. One of the things that someone asked for in the last video was, and it was Stitchin' Cindy. She wanted to see the angels that I had cross-stitched early on when I was younger. I had posted these on the Stitch Mania group, and but if you're not a part of that Facebook group, I'm just going to show you the pictures really quickly on my phone because I don't have them here. I mentioned last time they were at my mom's, so let's try to minimize the glare as much as I can. There we go. So that's one. Try to get a little closer so you can kind of see it, but I have to angle it. There's another one. That one might be my favorite. That one or the next one, which is the celestial one, I think. Yeah. And then one more. Oops. That one. So, those are those angel patterns. And I don't have the pattern book with me up here, but if you look at my previous video, you can see who the designer was. Barbara Baz, I think, is who it was. And, you know, if you find it, those would be in there. Okay, so I'm going to jump right into whips. Since the last video, I went pretty hard on that stocking for my son, this one right here, because I was getting concerned that 1 week a month was not going to be enough to get this done by Christmas time. So last time I had all the wheels down here with the smoke steam. I had just started some of the red in the cabin, and I think like a line of red here. That's all I had done. So I put in 2 more weeks of effort on the stocking since the last video, and that was 2 weeks, 20 hours in those 2 weeks. And this is how far I got. So pretty good. So I did some more in the cabin, a little bit up here. All this green got done, the silver front of the steam engine, a little bit of the front here also. So, I mean, it went a lot faster once I was just working with the DMC cotton. I think what felt like was making this take a lot longer was down here. I was using some of that blending threads, which I love the look of it, but it definitely slows you down due to having to use smaller strands and having to blend all of them together every single time. It was 1 strand of the DMC cotton with 2 strands of that thin blending filament, and it just took longer to do versus just pulling, you know, 2 threads of DMC like you're used to doing, or I'm used to doing, I should say. So that was pretty good. So far it's been a total of 32 hours on this since starting it in the beginning of January. So it was 2 weeks total that I worked on it. So maybe it was just 1 more week after the video. So it must have been 1 week before last video and then another week more. that I put in for a total of 32 hours, but it was 20 hours in that last week. Something like that. But that's progressing pretty nicely. I have put it aside for several weeks now, and I'll pick it up again probably whenever I'm ready to do so. It depends, I think, on when I finish the next project that I'm going to show you, and then I'll probably jump back to that. It was definitely a hard switch for me because I had such a good momentum with the stocking by the time I was like really getting into it. But I knew that I wanted to get to this next project because I really want to finish it before the baby comes. So it was hard to put away that stocking, put that out of my brain, and then start working on the next one. But once I started on the next one, it was, you know, well, let's get this going, let's get this going. So again, I'm not used to doing a rotation like this, so it's maybe just an adjustment on my part of how to do this. So we'll see. So far it's okay. It's just that little adjustment I have to get used to when you're stopping one and starting the other. So the next one I've been working on, and the reason why I want to have it done before the baby is here is because it's for the baby. Not that a newborn is really gonna play or use this much, but I just like to have it done beforehand. At this point, I'm hoping to just have the cross stitching done before the baby's here. It's not gonna be completed, and that's okay. But that was the little owl pillow that I showed last time. And here is where we are now. A lot of progress on this. So last time I had the wing done, only about maybe a third or half of this red stripe in there. And then probably about that much of this ecru and, well, lighter colored body part, the squiggles, with maybe like a few little bits here. But none of the hearts, none of that. So I was able to do all of the hearts, all of the squiggles in the body, and complete the other wing. I actually just finished this wing over the weekend, and all of the back stitching, because all of the leaves and the flower heads and all that, that's all back stitched. I did all of that back stitching yesterday. So I'm hoping today to get all of the back stitching on the hearts done, which will then just leave the eyes, head, ears of the owl left. So in a week, unless this kid comes early, we'll see. We'll see. So I thought it was actually going to go not a lot faster. Not that I didn't progress really well on this, but I really made sure I got time into this thing to get to this point. But there's just so many color changes, and there's no huge blocks of single colors to really like push through and get a lot of progress, that it's just taken me a lot longer than I was thinking. And the eyes and the head part is not going to get any better than that. Just as many color changes on it. But I'm really loving how it's looking. So I'm excited about that. So I did, let's see, this was, so far, it's been 3 weeks of work to get to this point, 61 hours total. And since the last video, I had put in 40 hours of those 61 hours. And that was over the course of 2 weeks. So I really put in a lot of time. It's 20 hours a week. Anytime I had a little bit of time to poke at it a little bit, or stayed up a little bit later than I should have, that's what I did. So very happy with that. In the last video, I think I had said that there was a quilting flannel that was like a purpley color with little flowers on it, to use as the back on this pillow. I either used it already for something, misplaced it, or imagined it all together because it was not downstairs in my stash. But I do have a couple of other options, and I think it's down to these two. So I've got this guy, so I'll put it next to the owl so you can kind of see. Or I can just go with a solid. I think I'm leaning towards the solid just because the front's already so busy. And I like this, but I think it's just gonna be too much, the back and the front. I wish this was a little bit darker because I can see this getting really dingy. but I think it's going to be the one that looks the best with it. I mean, I could always buy something else that'll work, but I'd rather just use what I already have than go purchase stuff. I'm not big on buying a whole bunch of stuff and then letting it sit around. So since I already have some of this stuff sitting around, might as well use this stuff before getting new stuff. But unless it was like really not working, but I think that purple will work really nicely with it. So the other two whips that I have, I mean, not really actively working on them. This was that first counted cross stitch piece that I showed last time, and I'm going to turn it into a tote. I haven't done a single thing with it yet. Haven't even bought the material. I wanted to at least buy the material, but just didn't happen. But eventually I'll turn it into, so what I carry my cross stitch around with right now is, I have two bags. They're the same ones. They're just these fabric bags that you can pick up at stores. So I basically just want it to be something very similar to this. Tote, straps, got a nice little pocket in the side for things, probably another pocket on the inside, so something along those lines. It's all my floss. I think most of you guys have something similar to that. I basically just have that guy and this guy. I don't have the full DMC collection. I'm okay with that. I'm not actively trying to get the full DMC collection. I just get pieces as I need them and fill it in. So I have two of those bags. One is to have all that floss in, plus whatever I am working on that particular week or couple weeks, and then the other one is just to hold the other things that are more active but not particularly being focused on that week. And then I got a couple of other bags in the basement that are more long-term storage for stash, but those aren't totes, those are just some bags I have. I definitely want a better organizational method than that, but I'm waiting to settle down a little bit more before we start tackling a project like that. So that guy hasn't really gone anywhere, but that's okay. Keep holding on to him. We'll find time eventually. And then the other one is the anemones. Still in the same state, haven't touched it. They are pretty though. This one will turn into a project bag, I'm pretty sure about that. So once I am done with the owl, I'll put in a little bit more time in the stocking again, another week or two, or whatever baby will let me do. And then when I'm kind of happy with the progress that I've done with that, then I'll probably come back and start stitching on this a little bit more, and maybe start the swan tote. And that's it. I don't have any new stash really. I did take advantage of the Joann clearance that was going on a couple weeks ago. I don't know if they're still going on now, but there wasn't too much at ours that I really wanted. I did pick up a couple of Ada. This one is in a very pale pink. It's just 14 count Ada pink. And then this one, which is really pretty, it's called Polar Ice, also 14 count Ada. So no plans for it, and I don't normally like buying stuff without having plans for it. But sometimes, I mean, when you have a really good deal and it's not like a huge amount of stuff, I will certainly find something to do with this. I actually have some variegated floss that I haven't played with yet, any variegated floss, and it's sort of a purpley blue, actually let me pull it out, purpley blue kind of a mix, which might look really nice on that blue or the pink. I think on the pink it might look really cute, maybe another something for a baby girl, but nothing fancy. It's not like a silk or anything exotic, but I like the colors, so maybe just play around with it so I can play with variegated floss and see how that works out, because I've never played with it before. So pick out a small chart and work on that. So the last thing I wanted to do really quickly was the Know Your Needleworker tag. So I have it here on my phone. I can pull it up. and I figured I'd run through that. A lot of people seem to do that in a lot of their first videos. Let's see. Number 1, where do you live? Mystic, Connecticut. If you've seen Mystic Pizza, it's the same one, Mystic, Connecticut. We really like it here. I don't think we're going to end up staying here with the new house. We're looking for a little bit more property, and I'm not sure we've really been finding it around here, which is unfortunate because I do like the area, but we might still be pretty close. I mean, we want to be fairly close to work, and we work nearby, so we'll still be generally in the area. What do I do for a living? I am a mechanical engineer. Specifically, I build submarines for the Navy, which is equally as cool as it sounds, as boring as it is. There's some really cool moments, probably more than the non-cool moments, but on your day-to-day basis, it's just an engineering job in the desk, working away. Although my group, we go down to the boats pretty often. I just haven't because I'm pregnant right now, and I also work part-time, so I don't take on a lot of the bigger jobs since going part-time. It's just a harder thing to do when you're not there full-time, and they need a lot more attention for those kind of jobs. So once I'm not pregnant and back at work, even at part-time, I'll probably get down there and check things out as I work on jobs, but recently I just haven't been going down there. It's been smaller work that I could do from my desk or have someone else go down to the boat for me. So so yeah, equally cool as boring. What else? Let's see. Do you have any other hobbies other than cross stitch? I used to have more hobbies, you know, then I became a mom, and life's gotten kind of busy with that. I think this revival of cross stitching has been sort of a revival of getting to know myself again. Not that I ever really lost myself, but just when you become a mom or a parent in general, mom or dad, a lot of stuff gets pushed to the side. I love to cook, I love to bake. I guess that's a hobby. I love to dance, specifically Latin dancing, so salsa, merengue. My husband and I used to go out dancing fairly often. It's been a while. I have danced almost my whole life. From first grade until I graduated high school, I took tap and jazz and hip-hop lessons. I've taken various ballroom dancing classes. It's just fun, something I really like doing. If you put me in the middle of a club, though, to like freeform dance, I'm an awkward mess. But if you give me something more formal, then I really love it and excel in it. Not excel. Ooh, what am I getting all braggadocious there? I probably am very rusty right now, actually. If you put me out there, I would be stepping all over my husband's toes, or everyone's toes, really. But I do enjoy it. I guess that's it for hobbies, really. I'm sure there's more, but like I said, not so much recently. That's okay. Do I have any kids? Yep. So I got my 2-year-old son and soon-to-be newborn girl. Do you have any pets? Yep. Yogi. He is a greyhound. We adopted him, oh goodness. He was, I think, 6 when we adopted him, and he's 13 now. So he's, you know, he's our geriatric dog. He's had a little bit of issues this year. He's got some kidney problems. His joints have been very rough on him. He actually had a stroke in the beginning of last September. But he's still very lovable, and, you know, he still wants to play, but he just can't. He's just, his joints and his coordination are so gone right now. But they're very, very sweet dogs. He actually was a racing greyhound down in Florida. I adopted him through REGAP, which is Retired Greyhound Adoption Program of Connecticut. And they've been wonderful bringing in dogs that were otherwise going to get euthanized, and he's been wonderful. They're very, very sweet dogs. You'd think greyhound, you know, maybe needs a lot of energy. No, they will sleep all day, and they need a couple minutes outside to play. That's about it. And then they're done. After like 5-10 minutes, they're like, all right, it's time to go do a nap again. They're sprinters. They're not marathoners. They like that run, but they're done after a few minutes. They call them 45-mile-per-hour couch potatoes for a reason. Very sweet dogs, though. So we'll take a look at him at the end of this video. What's my favorite movie? I don't think I have a single favorite movie. Or even genre, really. Let's see. I love Roman Holiday. It's a great movie. The Birdcage, fantastic movie. Just coming out of the holiday season. I love Home for the Holidays. I think that's a really underrated holiday movie. It's just a really good movie. I think I connect with it. Not that my family's like really crazy and we have all these drama like characters in the show, but it's just something about it I connect to, and I really liked it. Love Actually, that's another holiday one we just got through that was great. I love the Toy Story movies. I love cartoons. I'm so glad I have children now that can justify my watching these things other than me just being the strange adult going to these movies. Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm still thinking about holiday movies. I'm sure there's other movies. Empire Records. That's a great movie. Don't feel I need to explain my art to you, Warren. Love that line. Footloose is another movie I love. It's all over the place. It just depends on my mood, I guess. Which is good. I don't want to just be, painted as one flavor. I have lots of flavors. Favorite TV shows? I don't know. Big Bang Theory is pretty popular with us here in the house. Goodness. I just started watching on Netflix Lemony Snicket's Series of Unfortunate Events with Neil Patrick Harris. Love it. Absolutely think it's great. The movie I was not into with Jim Carrey on it, but this one's really great. Neil Patrick Harris is a national treasure. Love it. We've been catching a lot of documentaries and stuff like that, either on TV or on Netflix, that seem to be of interest to us. We just and us, I mean me and my husband, we have pretty similar tastes. Not always though, especially for movies. He's more of the, if Bruce Willis and explosions and Arnold Schwarzenegger are in it, he absolutely has seen it a million times and will see it a million more. While I do like some of those action movies, I'm not just set on that. But when it comes to TV shows, I think our flavors align a lot more. So if I'm saying we a lot, that's why. It's just because we agree on a lot of the TV to watch. So we actually just watched last night an interesting little documentary about Back to the Future, and just kind of talked about the making of it and sort of the history and pop culture that it's left, and this whole DeLorean culture that's still going on. So things like that we'll find. It'll be that, and then we'll find more historical type documentaries, that will be of our interest. So I don't know if there's any other shows that really stand out. I mean, we like watching all the Daily Shows and John Oliver, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, that kind of stuff. Favorite music genre? Well, I think it's the movies. I don't really have a single genre that I really gravitate towards. I mean, I could say, I'm not really into hardcore gangster rap or country, but who's to say there's not a country song out there that I would really like, or a few of them. But in general, it's not my thing. But I'd hate to dismiss a whole genre, knowing that there might be something out there. Same thing for the hardcore gangster rap. Some songs that I love, just to kind of maybe give you a feel of what I like listening to. One by U2, that's a great song. Last Goodbye by Jeff Buckley, love it. Hallelujah, also Jeff Buckley or Leonard Cohen or a number of other people. Rufus Wainwright does a really good version of that song too. What else? Oh, Amalia Rodriguez. Love Amalia Rodriguez. She sings Fado. She's the queen of Fado. Fado is the Portuguese blues, basically. It's very nostalgic and moody, and it's about longing and love, usually love that is lost and never to return again. It's very dramatic and overly emotional. And I love it. Not that I am a particularly overly emotional person, but there's something about it that's just so beautiful in a heartbreaking way. It's kind of like the blues. It's really, really wonderful. And Molly is fantastic. What else? Smile by Charlie Chaplin. Friend was just mentioning it earlier this morning, so that's why it's in my brain. I really do love that song. No, again, it's kind of all over the place. I'm okay with that. I don't need to be painted one stroke, by one paintbrush stroke. I am more than that. Favorite book? Oh God, I used to read all the time. Specifically right before going to bed. That was my prime reading time. But then I had a kid, and right before going to bed was, I'm gonna go to bed. That's what it became. I don't have time for reading. And now it's still the same. By the time I'm ready to go to bed, I'm ready to go to bed. Or that time beforehand, I'm hanging out with my husband, watching some TV, and while that's not like super one-on-one bonding time, it still is, when we're done with our busy days, we sit down and can watch something that we both enjoy and comment on it. And, I'm not going to sit there reading my book while he's watching something else and then not have something to connect on. And so that's what we do, is we watch TV, something that we both enjoy and appreciate, and sparks conversation between the two of us, and I stitch. So by the time we're done with that, I'm ready to go to sleep. So not too much reading in these past couple of years. But before my son was born, I was getting really into like the I read all the Hunger Game books and the Harry Potter books. Those were a lot of fun to read. I liked Christopher Moore a lot also. He's got a fun sense of humor in his books that I really enjoyed. A Dirty Job is one of my favorites of his. Lamb is another one. I've got quite a few of his books, actually. I was just moving some books around the other day, and I saw my collection of his, and I was like, I really wish I could reread these one of these days. So I actually just picked up The Alchemist the other day that I got at a used bookstore. I'd been wanting to read it for a really long time, and it popped out on the shelf as if I was supposed to see it and get it. So I bought it. I've only gotten through, 10, 15 pages, but it's good so far. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get a little bit more reading time in. Probably not. Hopefully. What one word describes you best? I'm not good at describing myself. Practical? And I know how boring that sounds, but I kind of am really practical. I mean, believe me, I have my irrational, unpractical moments that I can't even explain. My husband will certainly tell you a number of my unpractical moments. But in general, a lot of my friends, I think, do view me as sort of a very logical and practical individual. I think that's the engineering side of me that's showing through. I'm very step back, don't let the emotions kind of take over, and really try to look at things objectively. Although the emotions do take over sometimes, and then I stop and I pull back and try to do that. So I'd say practical. Even with the stitchy stuff. I don't collect a huge stash, and I don't start a million whips to work because I just don't find it to be a practical thing to do. I don't want to have all these things just kind of lingering around and not being completed. It's just not me. Okay, so I think that's it. I'm gonna try and not Blair Witch this too much. I'm gonna turn the video around and then walk on over to the living room so you guys can say hi to Yogi, and then sign off from there. Okay? Get ready for a ride. Hold on. Switch this around. Oh, it might not let me switch it around. Well, I'm gonna do my best here to keep the camera steady. Here we go. Let's see, he's probably sleeping. Here's our living room. Oh, he's shaking. Are you stretching, buddy? Yep. You wanna say hi? You wanna say hi, Yog? Can you say hi to all the folks? Or to your own image? That's our dog. Our ferocious greyhound. Love the floppy ears. Look at that sweet little face. Definitely grayed a lot over the years, but there's Yogi. Hi, Yog. Yeah. Yeah, lots of work these dogs are. Very much a lot of work. Look at all the work I have to do for him. They are sweet, sweet dogs. All right, everyone. Bye. Happy stitching. Hopefully, see you again soon with the new kid. Bye.